amount of talent and knowledgeable people that exist here, not only on the technical scope, and universities here absolutely fantastic, but also financiers, legal consultants, and the whole business infrastructure. You know, Europe, our old but lovely Europe, is so far behind.
Hey folks, Flo here with CryptoNews Canada. I'm here at the Canadian Blockchain Summit, of course. Interview number 10 probably at this stage. Really excited to be here with Anna with Blockbank, who's only been in Canada very recently, so I'm gonna ask about that, of course. So Anna, why don't you take 1 minute to introduce yourself and Blockbank?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having us, and what an amazing event. What a great people are here. What a pleasure to be here. Well, very shortly about myself, I'm Anna from Blockbank, and I have a legal background, and what I did in 2017, I joined crypto markets full-time. And back then I joined a very small startup called Etheland, and now it's Aave, the largest decentralized lending protocol. I worked with the European Union law enforcement, and it allowed me to fully understand the importance of compliance, user protection, as well as technical innovation. So what we do at the Blockbank, we are financial super app, and we're fully licensed, and we have more than 70,000 users and almost 500,000 in the waitlist for our cards. We're very happy that we launched last week in Canada, and we can't wait to serve all these customers.
Last week, and we are, I don't know, October 20th I think today. So that's crazy. That was just super recent, and I'm so happy to hear you're European. I'm a European Canadian myself. So why did you come to Canada?
Well, I was very blessed that two out of my co-founders, they're Canadians. And I used to work for one of the Canadian public companies back in the day. So we knew that Canadian market is very matured with a lot of good infrastructure, not only legal, as well as technical, as well as compliance.
Financial.
Financial. So the market here is very well developed. And so it was no-brainer. Initially we launched in Europe because simply it was easier, but as we saw that regulations became more clear here, as a business now we can launch. We got our MSB, we have our amazing Oslo law firm, and we just know what to do.
What's MSB?
It's a money service business. So
this
is if you want to operate with us and use our application, this is how we can legally do that.
Okay, I get it. So what kind of bank are you going to be? Blockbank means blockchain bank, I guess?
It's for us, it was also the moral story, because we wanted to stay true to our, let's say, kind of crypto roots and embrace technology. Blockchain as a technology is an amazing tool for financials and transactions, as well as fraud prevention. You know, as many panelists say, you can reverse a transaction and it's perfectly traceable until the end. So, and bank, we're in the process of getting specialized banking license in my home country of Lithuania, and it allows us to really do more and more services and offer more to our users.
Okay, so you just launched a week ago. I mean, where are you at in your sort of settling plans here in Canada? Where are you going to be based, by the way? And what services will you be offering to who?
So we have two offices, one in Toronto with an amazing team as well as developers there.
Financial capital, makes sense?
Yes, of course. But we have a secret location here in Calgary too.
Secret?
For now it's secret.
So where is it?
I'll tell you later. We're keeping it stealth because we're in the active hiring process.
Okay.
So until all of that's settled.
We'll talk about jobs in a minute.
Yep.
So what kind of services and for who?
We are offering services for eligible Canadian citizens and residents, and services they range from very traditional buy, sell digital assets. We can store digital assets as well as
like an exchange in a way.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
As well as we have very interesting services when it comes to Web3, but we did it in a way that we actually protect our users, and we call it hi-fi, hybrid finance. It means that when you go on our Web3 browser in our application, we curated those projects for you, so you will be in the less of the risk of getting your money stolen or scammed, because we want to protect our users, and education is a very important part of that. As well as we do offer staking services, as we call them Earn, because we work with licensed partners overseas in Europe to allow Canadians just to tap into that sector as well.
Okay, great. Well, education is definitely one of our mandates,
100%.
So perhaps a conversation offline about how we could collaborate. So we have a special feature. We ask a question, which is an educational question in 30 seconds or less. You mentioned the Web3, so what is the Web3 in 30 seconds or less?
Web3 is an ocean of knowledge, danger, and amazing tools that crypto assets can bring. So download the app, and we have a manual what is Web3. So let's just do it there.
Perfect. Very, very clever. I like that. So, like, if we zoom out a little bit of even just Canada and looking at what's happening here, what are some of the key, let's say, macro elements that you look at as you develop your organization in the Web3 space that you think other people should pay attention to as well?
Well, what is very interesting that a lot of global companies and Canadian companies, they enter Europe, and vice versa. A lot of American, European companies try to penetrate Canadian markets.
Okay.
So this whole so-called, sovereign countries and companies, it's no longer relevant because it's a one global crypto market.
Borderless economy.
Exactly, and it brings a lot of challenges to legislators as well as users. But what is very exciting that finally we have very clear legal guidelines on how we can operate in most of the jurisdictions, and for legitimate businesses that's a blessing. In Europe we have MiCA regulation coming in that will be relevant for all 27 member states. Well, it was 28, but UK left.
That's their loss.
Exactly. And same in Canada with IROC and additional licensing. So I see microclimates as a very positive one. Yeah, there are market downturns, and we see global economy is not in the greatest shape, but at least now we know how we can operate.
Yeah. You spoke about Europe and Canada. You have sort of one foot on either shore, a little bit like me. Could you actually say to us, beyond regulation, what are kind of the differences in terms of maybe how developed the market, how dynamic things are in Europe versus in Canada?
So Canada has such a rich history of markets and IPOs and technical talent. Just look at the Shopify, look at the CoinSquare, TSX, Neo Exchange, amount of talent and knowledgeable people that exist here, not only on the technical scope, and universities here absolutely fantastic, but also financiers, legal consultants, and the whole business infrastructure. Europe, our old but lovely Europe, is so far behind.
Oh, really?
But where Europe really flourishes is different grants, quick options. We have 27 countries, you're licensed in one, you're licensed in all. So harmonized legislation in Europe really makes it easier to operate in 27 countries. But financial markets and just investment maturity is not as well developed as here in Canada.
And is your strategy also to settle in Canada to service North America?
100%. Because as I said, half a team are Canadians, and this is a country to be, because US is too complicated, it's too political, and Canada is a perfect place. It's a perfect entry stop also to the US itself.
We love to hear that, of course. Final thoughts and perhaps any messages that you would like to pass to the Canadian market as you just arrived. I mean, maybe you want to say hello.
Well, hello, my dear Canadians. It's such a pleasure and honor to serve all of you, even though we don't have too many Canadian customers, but we cordially invite you to download the app, contact us if you have any problems, and we'll be so happy to grow together with you.
Wonderful. Well, welcome to Canada.
Thank you so much.
That's the first thing I can say. Nice to have more Europeans come here. This was my interview with Anna from Blockbank. Again, here for 1 week, so great timing. CryptoNews Canada, make sure you subscribe to the channel and watch all the other videos. See you around.